everybody, it's EdTech Chat and Chew number 59, Micah.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Mike 59.
Woohoo!
There it is. And today we're going to be talking to you about ways that you can make things work well in a workflow with a substitute in the room. As you know, a lot of times we write sub-plans that are pretty extensive. We think there just has to be an easier way. Turns out that there is. So those are some of the things that we're working on. But before we get into that, what launched today on our project?
Our virtual Valentine partners.
Virtual Valentine. How many partners do we have, Mike?
Well, 434, was it? 432, somewhere in there.
432.
432, yeah. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm blown away by that.
17 countries, and I forgot to count the states, but it's almost half the states. So we have a wonderful selection, and I know that we just emailed all the project team members this morning to say, hey, go find your friend on our page. And some of them have already started subscribing to our YouTube channel. So 2 thumbs up for all of our new friends. Yay! Welcome. Yeah, we're excited to have you join us. With this one, Mike, what are the next steps for our friends with the Virtual Valentines?
So now that you're connected with your partner class, you've got 3 things that you really have to do. The first, you can start working on creating Valentines in some way. And this can be as in-depth when it comes to educational technology as you want, or it can be real simple. So, simple options would be have your kids make analog cards out of, construction paper and glitter and, get their hands messy. Take some pictures and send the pictures to your partner. That's, your real basic, not a whole lot of technology use. You can do everything from that way up to, create a video with a green screen that, has your kids running through your town and sharing the places that were the most romantic places in your town, or, your imagination is the limit. So any kind of ed tech tool that allows you to do that. The second thing that you need to do is you need to figure out the distance from your location to your partner's location in kilometers. And there's a form up on our Virtual Valentine's website where you can just plug in that number and it will put it into a spreadsheet collaboratively with everyone else around the world. And we're going to see if we can circumnavigate the globe, with a number of kilometers that we travel. And I think we're going to do that easily many times over.
We're shooting for the moon.
We're shooting for the moon.
Oh yeah, and that's probably a better goal based on the number of partner classes we have. Because I mean, even just 2 connections, we have places in Kenya connecting with places in California. There's half the globe right there, so we'll have no problem getting around the globe. And then your last mission, if you choose to accept it, which you have already, is to learn a little bit about the place that you're connecting with. So we try to, I believe all of our connections are at least in different states. We didn't partner up anyone from the same state, and we tried to give different countries partners, where we could. So we want you to learn a little bit about the place that you're connected with. We want your students to learn about it, and then share their learning in some way. And again, how they share their learning is really up to you. They can write blog posts. You can have them create analog posters and take pictures of it and post it online. You can use any of the apps or web tools that are out there for free or paid that you can use. So, Bunsey is a great option. I know they were a big fan of our, supporting our project here and getting us the numbers that we did. They'd be a fantastic option for all of these to be able to share your learning. So lots of options for you. A little bit of work, but it's all good learning. So, we're thrilled that you're partnering with us and, taking part in the project. And we can't wait to see the awesome things that students create. And then once they create those things, why don't you guys share what they should do with them?
They just need to use our K-12 Valentines, plural, is the hashtag. So we will be following along. And we embedded that Twitter feed for that hashtag onto the project webpage, virtualvalentines.weebly, weebly.com. You'll see it right on the homepage. So you can see what other classes are doing around the world. And you said you enjoyed all the love connections.
Yes, we have a lot of edu-love connections going on.
Yeah, tell me about that. I'm not sure what that is.
So when we first launched this project, I was like, oh, we're like connecting people. And like, I'm thinking of, wasn't there an old game show? Let's make a love connect.
Yeah, Love Connection was a TV show.
So in my brain, I'm like,
we're next EdTech Chat and Chew game show that we have on here.
Yes. I was thinking, we're not just making love connections, we're making edu-love connections.
Nice. Well, that's great. Is that a hashtag?
Well, no, we
No?
put it still in K-12 Valentine's, but I like it.
I like it too. Yeah.
So that is definitely live. And then our next project will go live right after the Virtual Valentine's Project. So we have more goodness coming that way in the next couple weeks. So
And hint, it's going to be awesome.
it's awesome. Just say it. Creativity, awesome. Art, it all goes together. So we definitely encourage everyone to join with us. I have to say, it's probably my favorite one that we do every year. That's what we're doing. All right, so let's get back on the topics.
Yeah.
Micah, when you were with the little people of the world and you had a sub, what were the challenges that you faced?
My students thinking that they could run the classroom without me and telling the substitute, this is how we do things and this is how we do things. So one of the things that I always made sure I did is I had like electronic subplans, in the fact that we used Active Inspire software, think like Smartboard, Promethean board, that kind of thing. And I embedded everything that sub would need pretty much minute by minute. So all that sub had to do was turn the page, click on a link, turn the page, watch this video, turn the page, the kids are doing this activity, sort of a thing. But that can be easily done in things like Google Slide. If you're with older kids, they could just keep working on their Google Classroom. If you're not there, you can set up an assignment and have them working throughout the day. So my main thing when I was in the classroom is to put everything embedded as much as possible so that they could just flip through.
Perfect. Mike, what would you add?
Yeah, well, when I taught 5th grade, we used, wait, I'm drawing a blank now. Not Schoology, the other one.
Edmodo.
Edmodo, yeah. Sorry about that. We used Edmodo with a lot of success for many different things, but including when we had a sub. You know, I'm a big believer in student-centered learning. And it took me until about November of every year, but by then, you know, the kids didn't need me to learn. You know, I certainly played my role, and I would hopefully inspire them in some different ways and point them in the right direction and help them, you know, learn. But each one of them had things that they were passionate about that they would pursue that learning on their own. And if I stepped out of the classroom for a day or two, they just went on learning and sharing their learning through blog posts or whatever they were doing, or working in small groups. And, you know, that allowed me to see what they were doing in real time and participate in those conversations, even though I wasn't right there in the classroom. Now I'm not using that any longer. Now that I'm in the science classroom, it's not set up for us. But yesterday was really the first day that I was absent, where I had work that I wanted kids to do behind the scenes. And so what I used was Padlet. And what I did is I started a new Padlet, which is an online corkboard. Think of it as where you can put different postings on there. It's free. And I just put the first posting on the bulletin board with the directions of what I wanted them to do. And they were, what I left for them was a 25-minute video from Disney Imagineers explaining how they use friction to create theme park attractions. Friction was the topic that I wanted our kids to learn, since we were working with laws of motion and that. And I had the sub tell them to take notes while they were watching that video. And then when they went to the computer lab the next period, the Padlet was all set up for them. They simply typed in the address. It was all set up, you know, security-wise, where only they could get it with the link. And the directions told them, go ahead and share the things that you learned on that Padlet, and to add a picture that goes along with that you know, that point or that fact that you learned. And what I did is, right in the directions that I gave them, I did a Bing search that I knew was a safe search and copyright released. And I took the link to that search and put it right in the Padlet, so that when they clicked on it, all of those pictures were things that they could use in there.
Oh, good idea.
And then I walked in this morning and I saw what they had done. And interestingly enough, since this was really the first time that they had done this kind of experience on their own, it's what you would expect. There was a lot of great things on that board, and there was a lot of exclamation points and like, hey there kind of posts. But it led to a great discussion this morning. I said, okay, you know, you probably thought that you were just creating this for me. And so those exclamation marks, you know, probably didn't matter all that much. But my intention is, I want to share this on our science page. I want to share this out so that other kids that are learning about friction can use your notes. And I said, and I can't do it right now, because right now, look, I've got this and that here. And, you know, is that the way we want to present ourselves as a class? And right away, they instantly knew, okay, that's why I can't do that next time. So, you know, I wasn't angry at them. It was a great learning experience. So that's, you know, just one tool that I used Friday to be able to pull it off.
Idea. Actually, my wheels are turning. It's a great idea, because it allows you to be there without being there.
Yeah, exactly. And I could have seen it in real time, you know, had I not been at at Steamtown or at the doctor's appointment. I could have looked at it. And by the way, speaking of, total aside, but, we're all big believers in global collaboration and global learning and experiences. Steamtown, what an awesome place for a virtual field trip. I Skyped in with Gina Ruffborn's students in Iowa and gave them a tour, and it was cool. We were walking through train cars, and I'd be like, okay, let's guess what this train car was used for. And they would guess, and then we'd walk in and see, okay, oh, wow, look at all these different slots here. What do you think they were? And then we'd go closer. This was a mail car, and look, here's all the different zip codes on it. This is where they sorted the mail while the mail was en route from New York City to wherever it was going. And then we go into the next car. What do you think this one was used for? And it was a dining car, and we'd go into the kitchen, and it was just a really
that's awesome.
cool experience for them. And then we saw the round table where they turned the locomotives around. But I passed along, because it's a National Historical Park, I passed along the contact information for the education director there to our friends at Skype in the Classroom. I'm hoping that we can get them set up to offer virtual field trips, because it was great. And a couple places that couldn't connect with us in real time, I shot short 2-minute video messages for our friends in India and California and a couple other places around the globe. Just like, oh, here's yeah, I bet you never thought about how they turn a train around. Well, here's how they do it. Here's the round table. So, yeah.
That would be so amazing. Mike,
Yeah.
I love the fact that no matter where you go, you're always trying to find ways to innovate those spaces for kids everywhere. So high five, buddy. That's awesome. That was great. Oh, good. I don't know if I can top that, Micah. Okay, let's see. Well, the first thing that I would do is use my phone when I go on time for a sub to be in my room. And before, I would start with a Word template, and I would just change it if I had to be gone again. And it was the first time I did it with probably 2.5 hours of detail by detail about how the structure of the classroom runs and such. And when I started moving my classes full time into tools like Edmodo or Google Classroom, then my sub plans shrunk down considerably. And I can say they are on autopilot. Have them go log into our virtual space, and we go from there. I would leave video, just quick video of myself of, hey guys, you remember we talked about yesterday? And it was very short. I would do it in less than 3 or 4 minutes of, here's what we're working on. This is what I need you to do. They rewound it if they needed any help. I would put together playlists from Google if I needed them to go watch a few things on their own as they were working through projects. A lot of times my students would be doing a video project, or they work on game design or something like that, along with whatever literature we were doing. So I would provide resources for them to go do digging if they needed to, but then come back to that. But basically, I just kind of cut the sub out of the equation and go directly to the kids. But that sounds like what we were all doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the more student-centered your classroom is, the more, or the less disruption it is when you have a sub, because the kids are in control anyway. And as long as you have the expectations, the sub can come in and just, okay, you guys do what you do.
It's perfect. And the best part about it is, Mike, you take video no matter where you are.
Right.
If you were going to be at the train museum Sunday and you knew you were going to be gone on Monday, you say, hey, I'm coming to you live from field research,
Right.
It's too fun.
Yeah, and I mean, like last year when I was in Kenya, it was great. I'd be on Safari and I'd be Skyping, and not just with my students, but students all over the world would just see who's online. Hey, there's a giraffe here. Let's see who wants a virtual field trip with the giraffe. Okay, Tanya Cunningham's online. Let's get her kids in here.
Work. Yeah. Well, and that Safari, I loved that experience. Were you on one of those calls? Oh my goodness, it was total magic. We
had some fun with that. Yeah, Livingston and I. It was cool. Actually, it was me and 2 Livingstons.
Two Livingstons. That's right.
Oh yeah.
Are there any other tools that you would add?
Maybe not official tech tools, but let your students guide those teachers as well. Like in Little People World, I had 2 teacher helpers. And so they kind of ran things for me when I was there. So naturally, I let them help that teacher. And so because we know that not all subs are trained on all these tech tools and things like that, and that's okay. But as long as our kids know what to do, and we say, okay, sub, these are your experts in the room, go see them, kind of a thing. So let your students be those experts for those subs.
Most definitely.
And have a backup plan for any sites that you plan on using.
Yes.
So for me, Padlet was the site that I wanted them to use, but I also know, sometimes Padlet goes down or filters block something. And so I had a backup plan of mathmovesyou.com, which is a STEM-based website by Ray, not Ray Ovac, but one of those big STEM companies that has some cool games on there where kids can design their own roller coaster.
Raytheon tool.
Raytheon, there you go.
Have your students done the Math Moves You essays?
No, not essays, no.
So we need to have Stacy Ryan come in because they do that every year. And with Raytheon just up the road from us, that helps a little bit.
Okay, I didn't know that,
yeah, we build airplanes, and her husband's one of those builders of airplanes, actually.
Really? Oh, cool. I didn't know that. That's cool, Micah.
And that Math Moves You, they've been doing it with the middle school for years and years and years. And quite often, students walk away with funds out of that through their,
Wow.
It's worth doing. And it's idea of how do I take math and use it in my real world life?
Yeah. And see, how I got exposed to them was, of course, through Sum of All Fears down at Disney World in Epcot. Because you design your own roller coaster down there and then you ride it with the KUKA arm, which is neat. But then they give you a card where you can go home and ride your roller coaster on your computer. And that hooks you up with the Math Moves You website where you can design your own roller coaster. And it's like, oh, I need my students designing their own roller coasters. This is awesome. And so for years, we've used that. Yeah.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. See, all of it has a Disney connection, Micah. Have you seen all this?
Right.
You seem to notice that trend, Dave. Yes. All right, Mike. Well, are there any other notations or suggestions you want to add?
No, I think those are my big tips. You know, any sites that you use on a regular basis with your kids and they know how to use, let them run with it.
Yes, they can.
Yeah.
As long as you have the access to the resources, they can do anything. And when in doubt, you can always make a video of just yourself and have the students watch that, and the teacher just the sub hits play.
Yep.
At least the kids know what it is that you need them to do. You don't have to repeat yourself. That's really nice.
Just do that on a regular basis, right?
I should. Yeah. Watch me over here, boys and girls.
I'm going to give directions. They'll be on, this YouTube link if you need them.
Well, but it's kind of like flipping is really kind of the concept. So, yeah.
And Alice Keeler talks about that,
Yeah.
not addressing groups in a whole group manner, like always having those directions embedded or that video embedded so that they can go back when they need to. So I think her and her husband are doing a pilot of not ever addressing their classroom's whole group.
Interesting.
Wow. Well, I know we're about to wrap up, but this kind of jogged him. Our art teacher is an absolute rock star, Deb Pulse.
He is.
So Deb's a big believer in student-centered education and TAB, which is teaching for artistic behavior, where students come into the art room and instead of her telling them what to make, they just make whatever they want to make. And she helps them in each way. But the way that she does it is she has QR codes around her room where the kids just take the iPad and like, okay, I want to learn how to sculpt. So whoop, they scan the sculpt and there's Deb explaining in 2 or 3 minutes how to sculpt. And then they go sculpt. But if the next day they want to go weave, then they go over and look at the weaving video and boom, that's what you're talking about. No whole group instruction. She just, and she doesn't have to be in more than one place at once because, she's all over the room.
I love that. She is a rock star. Most definitely.
She is.
And everything is unique that comes out of there.
Yep.
And your son probably has made some pretty cool things himself.
Absolutely. I mean, he loves that class. All of the kids love it because they're in control. They're in control of the learning. There's no one telling them what to do. They just get to go in and have fun. And, and it's been amazing. Kids can't wait to give up their recess to go in there and work on the things that they're working on. We've got one kid who decided he wants to weave hats. And so he goes in and weaves hats. We've got other kids who are painting ceiling tiles. One of them came down to me the other day and was like, here, I designed this ceiling tile. I want to paint it and put it outside your science room. It was a picture of like a microscope. I was like, yeah, go for it. Cool. And kids are just doing amazing things in there because they've got the freedom to do so.
Do we not have the best jobs, friends?
Love it.
Truly. All right. Well, that leads us to our essential question of the day. What was for lunch?
3rd time in a row, but it's delicious, and that's why it's been 3 times in a row, is my buffalo salad.
Nice.
Peanut butter and banana sandwich. And my new favorite snack are these. Coconut chips.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've had them
Yes,
before.
they are that good.
Cool. I had we did make your own pizza last night. So my pizza was my wife's homemade sauce with fresh mozzarella, spinach, fresh basil, homemade meatballs, and pepperoni.
You win. Lori's amazing. High five to Lori.
She's incredible.
Alrighty, guys, that's all we have time for this week. We'll see you next time on EdTech Chat and Chew. See ya.
Bye, everyone.